Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma for those of you who are new, and I would love it if you guys subscribed and stuck around. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is just going to be a little winter reading vlog. It's no secret, but I am in the biggest reading slump of my life. No joke, I'm not exaggerating. I don't know if anyone else is in the same boat, but reading has been hard for me this year, and it could be for a plethora of reasons. So number one, I moved this year. That took up a lot of my time and energy and mental space, so that could be a huge reason why I'm kind of in a slump this year. Number two, I started a job at Barnes & Noble back in April, and contrary to popular belief, I actually read less than I ever have in my life when I worked at a bookstore. I know that it probably would be the exact opposite, like you think you would read more when you're surrounded by books all day, but it made me want to read less. So working at a bookstore did not make me read more, but I could be in the minority for that one. And then I also recently just started my new job in marketing, so been loving that, but haven't really had a whole lot of mental energy to pick up a book and read. So I made my reading goal at the beginning of the year, which I'll link that reading reset video down below where I set all of my bookish goals for the year. Don't even want to go back and look at that video and see how much I failed, but I set a goal of 75 books on Goodreads just because the past couple years I've read about 50-60 books each year. So I thought, hey, 75 is just a little bit above. It's a nice reasonable goal, but it's also a bit of a challenge for me. Girl, a couple months ago I had to change my reading goal back to 50, and I still haven't reached 30 books just yet. So I'm a little embarrassed just because I'm trying to be a booktuber, but I also work full time. Also, life is hard, and I just want to be a realistic space right here. Some people read a lot of books and other people don't. And this year was just not my year, but next year is going to be. 2025, I can just feel it. I believe I said the same thing about last year. So yeah, today's video is just going to be a little reading vlog. I titled it Winter Reading Vlog because hopefully we'll read like a holiday book in here somewhere. But the main way I want to kick off this video is finishing these two books. So I have Daydream by Hannah Grace. I have been reading this for a couple months now, and I just want to finish it. So this video is going to start with clips from probably like October and November of me reading this book, and then I will share my thoughts with you guys. So this is the first book that we're going to read, but also I'm almost done with Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I've been reading this book for about a month now, and I have less than 100 pages left, or a little over 100 pages left. So we're also going to finish reading this book in today's video. And then there is a book on my Kindle. I got an arc of The Christmas List, I believe, by Marin Moore, and I forget what the title of the series is called, but I got the arc for my Kindle, and I would love to start that in today's video just to have a little holiday read. I also maybe want to read another Christmassy or wintry book, or some kind of mystery or thriller or something. So we shall see what books we read in this video, but for sure we're going to be finishing these two books. But yeah, we have a lot of reading to do. Let's get out of a slump. I also have a couple weeks off in December from my job, so we're definitely going to try and catch up to my Goodreads reading goal, because I feel like if I'm just reading nonstop for 2 weeks, maybe we can make it up. But honestly, I feel like we're just going to take the L this year and we'll start fresh next year. But yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. I hope you guys have been enjoying Bookmas so far. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's just go ahead and get into this winter reading vlog. So I'm currently reading Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the third in the Maple Hill series by Hannah Grace. I picked this up like a week or so ago to start reading. We'll continue reading it today, and I'll share my thoughts with you. It is so cute so far, which I'm very happy to report because I did not like the second book very much, so I was kind of apprehensive to like pick this one up. But I love Henry. I've loved him since the first book. I think Icebreaker, he was in that one, and he is just so sweet and kind and patient with Hallie, and I love him. So excited to see their like friendship and relationship sort of pan out, but not a lot has happened so far. But he is just so adorable. I love him so. Hello everyone, I wanted to give you a little update on Daydream by Hannah Grace. So let's see how many pages in. So I'm on page, I think 294. So I'm almost at 300 pages in. The book is just a little over 400 pages. I am breezing through this book, and I had a feeling that I would really enjoy this one more so than the last couple because I love Henry as a character. I think he is so sweet. He's so understanding. And he's just a lot different than what we expected, but he is just such an active listener. He's just so kind and empathetic with everyone that comes into his life. And I really do love the dynamic between him and Hallie, the main female character in this one. I just have like a couple notes. I shouldn't really say notes, but I just feel like this whole book is just one long therapy session. I totally understand like having friends and having like kind of a significant other figure helping you through certain things in your life, but like I feel like they've both mentioned multiple times that they need to go to therapy, and I would agree. There's no like stigma surrounding that. Like I feel like everyone needs to go to therapy, myself included, and I just feel like it's just been a lot. It just feels just like the same things are being drawn out over and over again. I'm enjoying it. I just don't feel the need to talk about this like every 5 pages, you know what I mean? Like this book could be so much shorter because I just feel like they're repeating themselves, like both characters, not just one or the other, but both. I don't know if I'm making any sense because I'm just repeating myself as well, but what I'm saying is I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving the dynamic. I'm loving the kind of like found family aspect that we get in this, and I'm loving to get to know Henry a little bit more, seeing other members of the team. Bobby, Robbie, JJ, Nate is in this one a little bit, Russ from Wildfire, seeing Aurora in it as well. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like my 2 cents. I am enjoying this one a lot. I just don't think I'm going to give it a 5 stars, but we shall see. I'm not sure how much more could happen in the book that would make me change my mind, but I'm going to continue reading. I think I'll finish the book tonight. I have to work early tomorrow, but I think I'll finish this book tonight and maybe start another one tomorrow, but we shall see. I'm going to read for a little bit and obviously update you guys with my thoughts. So I have a couple other thoughts. It's not that they both need therapy because I think everyone can benefit from therapy and having someone to talk to. It's just that in this specific book, it just seems like that is all that they are talking about. And I feel like emotions are just too overwritten and like it's taking up like a majority of the story. Also, I forgot to mention, I think things and like scenes and chapters are just ending a bit too abruptly. Like there's something that they're talking about and it's really important, or they're coming to like a resolution for something, or getting to like the next step of something, and I feel like a scene just ends, or like an important part that I'm like really enjoying and then it just cuts off abruptly. So those are kind of like my only 2 real gripes. So far, not a lot of spice either. Like I feel like Icebreaker was super spicy. Wildfire I feel like didn't really have like too much in it, and this one like it's really not like spicy at all. So I don't know, I really do feel like Hannah Grace's like writing style has developed a lot since the first one, and I really like that. But I'm gonna continue reading now and then we shall see. Also, sorry, my husband is making a bunch of noise in the other room while I'm trying to film. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue reading. guys, I finally finished Daydream and Wild Eyes, so I wanted to sit down and just chat and share my final thoughts with you guys. I have been reading both of these books for so long. I'm normally a very fast reader, but when I've told you guys, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and I've mentioned in pretty much every video I've posted this year, this reading slump is no joke. I have never been in a book slump like this ever in my whole life that lasted like a whole year. Like a year-long book slump, absolutely insane. So I'm so happy to have finished these books, and I have no clue what book I'm gonna pick up after this, but I think my reading slump has honestly affected my ratings on some books this year, because if a book is taking me longer to get through, it's not even the book necessarily or the author's writing style or anything. It's literally just me. Like, it's not you, babes, it's me. I didn't really retain anything from these books, I don't think, but let's just chit chat really quick and then hopefully we can go find a book that I rate a little bit higher. Not like these were bad books or anything, but I think my reading slump is just affecting my ratings, and because I took so long to read these books, like it really affects the reading journey for me and the experience. So the first book I have is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the first book that we read. I've been reading this since October. That's literally insane and so embarrassing. It's never taken me that long to finish a book. I rated this book a 3 stars. I honestly wasn't expecting to rate this much higher, if I'm being honest. I did say that I was enjoying the book when I first started it, but honestly it just turned out to be kind of redundant for me. I think just things were over-explained a little bit too much, but also on the contrary, everything was kind of rushed. Like there was a lot of abrupt endings to things, and I just didn't love that either. But out of the 3 books in the series, this was the least spicy for sure, which was kind of refreshing in comparison to the other ones. Like I feel like Icebreaker was very hot and heavy and really sports oriented. Like they really focused on the hockey and the ice skating aspect. Wildfire was my least favorite of the series, and I think just because I was expecting a college sports romance, but it was set at a summer camp, but there wasn't a lot of sports in that one, and that one was kind of like slow burn but also a tad spicy. But this one had the least spice in my opinion. There was still a bit of spice, so definitely not closed door or non-spicy or anything, but this one also just focused more on the friendship first kind of aspect. Like it didn't hop right into the spice and the smut. They really built a relationship and a friendship and like solid ground first before we hopped into anything physical. And I feel like a lot of books these days focus on the physical aspects before there's emotional connection, which nothing wrong with that. You guys know I love my spicy books. I really loved Henry. I liked Hallie and him together. I love the found family aspect of all of these books. That's one of my favorite things about like sports romances, because there are so many different characters intertwined within the story and that are introduced, and I don't know, it's just really sweet. I also loved the little pact that they made together. It was just mutually beneficial for the both of them. Like one person wasn't gaining something more than the other one. If I can remember correctly, basically Henry is having trouble in school and Hallie is having trouble coming up with content because she's writing a story, like a novel, for a competition, and they basically make a pact. So Hallie is really good in school, so she helps Henry with his schoolwork and finds new ways for him to focus and get good grades. And then Hallie isn't very experienced with dating life. Like she had a really shitty ex-boyfriend, so Henry kind of helps her with that. Like they make like a checklist of like going on dates and things that she wants to experience to help her come up with stuff to put in her story. And then through that they build like a really good friendship, and they both gain something from that. Like neither one of them is taking advantage. So I did enjoy this one, but I still gave it a 3 stars. I just don't think it lived up to my expectations for the book, I guess you could say. I was really excited about this one. Take this with a grain of salt because I am in the biggest book slump of my life. 3 stars on this one. I don't know if Hannah Grace is writing any more books in this series, but I really do feel like her writing style and the depth to her stories has really developed since the first one. And then next up I have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This one also took me so long to finish. Not as long as Daydream by Hannah Grace, but still quite a while. This is the second book in the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver, and I love Elsie Silver's writing. She focuses a lot on a small town, kind of like cowboy-esque romances. She incorporates single dad tropes in a lot of them. So this book is about Weston, Belmont, and Skylar, and Weston is the brother of Rosie from the first book, Wild Love, and he is best friends with Ford Grant from the first book as well. So he is kind of like golden retriever-esque. He owns a ranch, I think Rose Hill Ranch, and he also has a couple kids. He is a single dad, so that single dad trope that Elsie Silver loves so much comes into play in this one. And then Skylar is a country country music sensation, and she's honestly been having a lot of hard times. Like, her parents are kind of awful to her. Her ex relationship was really bad. The tabloids and the press have been attacking her for a lot of reasons. So she just needs an escape, which leads her to Rose Hill. And they have like this little meet cute in the beginning of the book, her and Weston, and it's just kind of adorable. I love the banter between these two. He is just also very like sheltered because he is a single dad, and his kids don't really take well to strangers or many different people, but they absolutely love Skylar. It's really, really cute, just the connection that not only Wes has with his kids, but the one that Skylar creates with them as well. Like I said, I was slumped out with this one, so I gave this one a 3 stars. I would definitely reread this one in the future, and I'm definitely gonna keep this on my shelf though because I love Elsie Silver, and I'm so excited about the next one. What is the next one called? Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and then Wild Side. Oh my god, the cover on that one is stunning, and that one is about Tabby and Reese, and you get a little sneak peek of both of them in this book, and oh my god, I think I'm gonna eat up Tabby and Reese's stories. Theirs is like very enemies to lovers, forced proximity, and marriage of convenience. So yeah, those are the 3 stars of today's video. We'll see what else we read. I really want to read a holiday romance and then maybe another book in this video. I think we're gonna start an arc that I got on my Kindle though. It's very short, so I think that is very fitting for reading just one I can kind of breeze through on my Kindle. So that's my ratings for these books. I'm so glad that I can finally just put these back on my shelves and not forget about them, but just like move on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just ready to move on. I'm sick of this slump. So let's see what else we can read in today's video. Hallmark After Dark. Isn't that funny? I'm cracking up over that. Guys, I'm already eating this book up and I'm on page 16. Wyatt Owens is the very man who broke my heart 8 years ago. My first and only love, the love that I've never gone over. Ooh. Guys, we're having a second chance romance. Obsessed, okay. I just finished The Christmas List by Marin Moore on my Kindle, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. I don't have a whole lot to say, honestly. It was the first time that I've kind of read a holiday Christmassy novella, holiday Christmassy rom-com, that sort of thing, and I don't know if those type of books are my thing, if I'm being honest. I love Christmas. I love Christmas and I love a good Christmas movie. For some reason, I just haven't found a Christmassy book that I love just yet. But this one was very cute, I will not lie. I got it as an ARC, and I hadn't read the first 2 in the novella, so I don't know if that would have swayed my opinion on this one. This is the Strawberry Hollow novella, and yes, if you watch Gilmore Girls, Stars Hollow, this small town is literally the same thing. It's so cute and Christmassy and just adorable. But this book follows Josie, who is a teacher, and she teaches Wyatt Owens' little girl, and she doesn't realize that it's Wyatt's kid. And then when he comes to pick her up from school one day, she realizes that he has moved back to town. He's one of her like old loves. It's a friends to lovers second chance situation, which you guys know I love a good second chance romance. Small town, second chance, friends to lovers, single dad romance. Their town, which is Strawberry Hollow, which is just a knockoff of Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls, puts on like this Christmas game and you have to form teams and do like this Christmas checklist kind of thing. Just very cute Christmassy vibes. Wyatt's kid, because you have to have like a team of 3, I think, begs Wyatt and Josie to work together, and it just escalates like this whole thing of them obviously reconnecting. And this book is very cute. There's no angst like at all. It's literally just cute, Christmassy, smutty fun. This book is spicy, you guys. If you're looking to get freaky by the fireplace or read about people getting freaky by the fireplace this Christmas, read this book for sure. So yeah, another 3-star read. That's my thoughts on the Christmas list. I would definitely recommend it if you're just looking for a quick, spicy holiday read. Hi guys, what is up? I am so sorry if I look and sound miserable. It's because I feel miserable. I don't know, I woke up with like the weirdest little cold this morning, but I really don't feel all that bad other than just like head congestion and a really runny nose. So I made myself a little tea. I'm going to sit on the couch and read for a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself or speak too soon, but I started a book last night and I'm already 17 chapters in, and this is the fastest that I've read a book all year. I am so excited. I've never read anything by this author, but I'm currently reading Pictures of You by Emma Gray, and this one I think is a new release, and I saw it at Target and I was like, this sounds really good. I want to read it. So far I'm loving it. It's going so quickly. This is about Evie or Evie, however you want to pronounce it, and she gets into a car accident with her husband, and when she wakes up she does not remember anything about her husband Oliver or anything about her life after age 16. Like, she wakes up and she thinks she is 16 years old, and it's kind of crazy, and her husband has passed away. She doesn't remember him at all, and she meets this guy called Drew, and he is actually her high school best friend. They were best friends in boarding school when she was 16. That's on the back of the book, so not a spoiler, and she does not remember him at all. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. The book says that there are a lot of trigger warnings, so I would just research those. They're on page 407 of the book, but I think they're also on like the book description, like online. So far we haven't really gotten anywhere yet, but it's dual point of view and dual timeline. So right now we're getting Evie's and Drew's point of view in the past and present day, and right now we just got to the point where they met each other and they're in boarding school, and I'm eating it up. It is so good. I don't know, there's so many good quotes in here. I wish I was good at annotating books and making them look pretty, because there are so many quotes that I am loving and that are so beautiful. I started this last night at like 9:30, and by 10:30 I was 100 pages in. So very excited about that. I'm also not going to say that this book could be responsible for getting me out of my reading slump, but I'm so excited to read and keep reading. So hopefully that means good things for me. I'm glad that we can kind of end the year off with at least 1 or 2 good books that I'm reading right now. So I'll continue reading and I will share my thoughts with you guys. I foresee myself finishing this before the end of the day, and then we can chat about it and we'll see. Just from the first 100 pages, just the writing style alone like makes me feel like I'm gonna give it 5 stars, but I don't know what kind of plot twists are gonna be in here. So just gonna continue reading and we shall see. It is 10:55 or 10:54. I don't know, way past my bedtime, and I work tomorrow. Like I have to log into work at 8:30, but I think I have like less than 100 pages left, like maybe 75, 80 pages, and I literally have that much left. So I've cried, I've gasped, I've giggled. Like this book is giving me all the emotions. Depending on how it ends, guys, I really do think that it's gonna be a 5-star read. So I apologize for my look. They look crazy. It's been a long day, but I cannot stop crying. It's 11:50. I need to go to bed. I'm almost done, but I can't stop crying. I'm exposing myself on the internet right now. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay, it is a couple days later since I have finished Pictures of You, and I really had to let this book just sit. You know what I mean? Like I had to let it settle. I had to let it sink into my system even more than it already was. And I don't even think I can accurately depict my thoughts and my feelings about this book without crying, and I don't want to do that. So I also can't really tell you guys a whole lot about this book because it would spoil like a lot of the plot line, if I'm being honest. Like the back of the book, like the synopsis, is very vague, but if I start to go into detail about this, like I'm gonna spoil everything because there are so many tiny little nuanced details. If I even slip up, like you guys are gonna know, like, you know what I mean? So this follows Evelyn, or Evie, or Evie, however you want to pronounce her name. I say Evie. So Evie Hudson, who is married to this man named Oliver. Well, something happens to the both of them, and Evie wakes up in the hospital and she cannot remember a thing about her marriage or anything basically after her life since she turned 16. So she wakes up and she still thinks that she is 16 years old. She does not remember anything in her life after boarding school. So she doesn't remember university. She doesn't remember getting married to Oliver. She doesn't remember her relationship with him. And most importantly to me, she doesn't remember Drew. Drew is her best friend from boarding school. They met when they were either 15 or 16 years old. And the story from there just kind of follows their relationship, kind of like coming of age, her relationship with Oliver. And that's all I can really say on that. It is past and present timeline. The past timeline is obviously so important because Evie has a form of short-term amnesia and she doesn't remember anything. So the past timeline is super important to seeing how just her life is primed from that point, because she meets both Drew and Oliver at the same time. It kind of follows both of those storylines, and Drew is basically helping her try to reclaim her memory or just like figure out who she was. Probably the best past and present timeline I have ever read in a book ever. I also picked this book up on a whim on my birthday at Target. I was like, the back of that sounds really interesting. But yeah, I'm so glad that I picked this book up. This book made me cry. I don't want to start crying again, so I'm just gonna tell you, I rated this book 5 stars. I think everyone should read this book. There are a lot of trigger warnings in this book. They are on the back page here, which I didn't know going in, but a couple of those themes did get me. Normally books don't really like get to me like too much. There's some books that will, and I'll choke up a little bit. I'll think about it for a little bit of time, but normally I can kind of separate like real life from fiction. But this book just felt so real and so raw to me. Like nothing was perfectly tied up in a bow. There was just so much raw, genuine human emotion throughout this. How not everything has a happy ending. Not saying that this book does or does not have a happy ending. You'll have to read like to find out, but it's just about, like I said, just raw and human connection. But we make mistakes throughout our entire life that can affect so many people, not just us, that we make decisions that could ultimately change the trajectory and the course of our lives, that we hurt people that we're closest to and that we love, and sometimes we don't get the proper closure that we need. I love when authors just write about real shit. Excuse my French, but I am not going to spoil anything else for you. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything for you, but for this being like a book that I just bought blindly, like I didn't really know anything about. I hadn't heard anyone talk about this. I'm so glad that I went into this book blind. I didn't look at Goodreads reviews before, and I think I'm gonna do that a lot going into the new year. Obviously, there's some new releases that I'm looking forward to, but I think a whole part of my slump this year, especially working at a bookstore, is I just got so caught up in reading the most recent releases, reading what everyone else was reading, and I'm still gonna do that, but I just want to mood read, and I just want to read books that I think sound good. Right now I have to sit and I have to hold space for this book, and it honestly might be a 6-star read in my opinion. I already want to reread it and annotate it, so I think I'm gonna get myself another copy in the new year, maybe in a few months, and reread it and underline so many quotes. I can't really give you a whole lot of the quotes without crying or without spoiling a lot of things. This one, like, this is on page 65. So, the woman has no idea what she's doing to me. Every unintended touch like a spider's silk, dragging me back into the web we spun together. An invisible structure that held me safe, then entrapped me. That's from Drew's perspective, babes. That's from Drew's perspective. Whatever the two of us had back then, it was special. This is years of chemistry safely contained. Explosive agents sitting beside each other on a shelf, not allowed to mix until now. And this no longer feels like it's just about our past. It's about our future. Like, genuinely shut up. Oh my god. This one really got me too. Like, I had to pause and cry for a little bit. The idea of the half-eaten sandwich also undoes me. That we could just step out of life one day unfinished. Books half read, wet washing still in the machine, places unseen, ambitions unmet, grudges held long after they should have been. That's all I'm gonna leave you with on that one. I talked more about this book than I did any other book, and I feel like this is a good place to end this video. So if you want to read my newest 6-star read, I would say definitely pick up Pictures of You by Emma Gray and let me know what you think. I really hope this book blows up, but also part of me wants to keep this to myself, for this is like my little secret, like my book. Like, I want to gatekeep this, but I also want Emma Gray to get the recognition that she deserves for this one. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. I hope I didn't spoil anything, but the writing is just so beautiful. The book just really dredged up a lot of like raw emotion for me, as you saw how many times I cried. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another upload. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.